Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the FadeAway podcast. My name is Tate, and I'm here joined by Gavin, and we've got some very big news we'd like to share with you.
All right, guys. So we have actually got our very first sponsor. We're super excited to announce. And that sponsor is going to be Smoky Mountain Axe House, located right next to us here in Midland and Alcoa, Tennessee. So they've been very gracious to be our first of hopefully many sponsors that we're going to have on this channel. So, yeah, like I said, we're very excited. If you want to check them out, like I said, they're going to be located in the Midland Plaza in Alcoa, Tennessee. And if you would like more information on everything that they're about, you can visit smaxes.com. That's smaxes.com. And make sure to let them know that the FadeAway podcast sent you. All right?
Yeah.
So what are we going to get into today, Tate?
Well, so we're going to be talking about the restart a little bit more, but we're going to be specifically talking about players that have chose to sit out, and we're going to try to determine if there should be an asterisk next to this championship.
Yeah, whether or not it's legitimate, what we think about these players, how them not playing is going to affect their certain teams, and also if we think there might be any other players who are going to be sitting out. Mm-hmm. But first off, like we're going to start off with some trivia. So, Tate, I'll let you go ahead and go first.
All right, so my trivia question is pretty straightforward. It is, who holds the record for most dunks in a game?
In a single game or over a season?
In a single game.
In a single game.
I don't think it's who you think it is. So.
Okay. Is it a well-known player?
Yeah, he's pretty well known.
It's not Shaq.
It's not. Nope. He is a big man, though. So
it is. Is it a center or a power forward?
It's a center.
It's a center. I'm going to go with kind of a cop-out answer.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. It is not Dwight Howard.
Okay. Who is it?
It is Rudy Gobert.
Really?
Gobert had 27 dunks.
In one game?
In one game. On March 25th, 2019.
Okay. All right. You ready for yours?
Yeah, you said you had yours pretty quickly, so
okay.
I'm worried.
So this is about my favorite player ever, Tracy McGrady.
Okay.
All right. So as you know, he played for the Raptors, then the Magic.
Okay.
And then the Rockets.
Okay.
He played for more teams, obviously, after that.
Mm-hmm.
Name two other teams he played for.
Name two other teams that T-Mac played for?
Uh-huh.
And then not the Magic, Raptors, or Rockets?
Not any of those.
Seemed to hit a roadblock there.
This shouldn't be too hard.
Did he play for the Spurs at the end of his career?
I don't know. You got to give me two definite answers.
Two definite answers? I feel like the Spurs is correct, and then I'm going to say... Are both of them in the same conference?
Two of them are in the same conference. One isn't.
Oh, he played for three teams after...
Yes.
And I need two of them?
Yes.
I think one of them's the Spurs.
Okay.
Golly, I don't know.
Unless I'm missing one. I know he played for at least three.
I'm going to say the Spurs and Grizzlies because I really don't know.
Okay, that's wrong.
Both of them?
No. So you got the Spurs right.
Okay.
The other two, I believe, and there might be more, so I may be wrong, but the other two that I know of are the Knicks and the Hawks.
Like very, very late in his career?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Spurs was the last team he played for, and the Knicks he played for them at some point. But yeah, I'll give you 50% credit because you got one of them 50% right.
50% credit? I mean, that's better than none.
I haven't gotten either of yours right so far because I didn't get last episode's correct either. I don't believe. Because what was your question last time?
Most offensive rebounds in a
Most
game.
offensive rebound. And what was the answer? Do you remember?
There were three people, and it was Zaza, Dennis Rodman.
That's right, Zaza.
And Charles Oakley had 18 offensive rebounds in a game.
That pissed me off that you said Zaza.
I mean, I guess he was a monster rebounder one game of his career.
He's a piece of shit every other one. I'm not going to say that. I don't respect him as an NBA player. He has, on multiple occasions, tried to injure players.
He took the Warriors to the finals. What do you mean? He took Kawhi out of the conference finals.
He was the starting center because they didn't have a good center on the team.
They've never had a good center, I don't think.
I mean, they had Boogie.
Well, that was like
after injury. Andrew Bogut.
Okay, Bogut was good, but he wasn't
really good. He was an all-defensive player.
Okay.
Like, made all-defensive second team. Multiple occasions.
All right.
Don't get me wrong. I don't know if I would put him at the number 1 pick that he got. You know what I mean? But he's still a very solid. He was what they needed. He knew how to set screens and block shots. So, and he could score within 5 feet. All right. So, like we said, yeah, we're going to be talking about a little bit more on the NBA restart. We touched on it in the previous episode, but we kind of want to talk more in depth about it today. So, starting off, looking at the players, I believe Tate has the list. So there's 8 players now who have said they've officially said they're not playing.
There's 7 on NBA.com, and then an hour ago another one came out.
So who are the players?
So we got Cephalosha for the Rockets, Wilson Chandler for the Nets, which I didn't even know Wilson Chandler was still in the league. Willie Cauley-Stein for the Mavericks, Courtney Lee for the Mavericks, Ariza for the Blazers, which is probably a pretty big deal.
It's kind of big.
Bertans has been playing well, but
I would say he's on the Wizards.
Yeah.
So
and then Avery Bradley, which that's kind of been nullified since they signed
J.R. Smith. And then
Bradley Beal announced that an hour ago that he's having shoulder issues or something.
Yeah.
So he's sitting out. So Bradley Beal's the biggest star that's sitting out. Dwight Howard just announced today that he was joining the restart, or he decided to play.
Okay. So let's break this down on a deeper level. So of all those players, if we're talking big losses, obviously Bradley Beal's on there. He's going to be the number 1. Basically the only great player on that team. So the Wizards are completely out of contention now from making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think
more than likely.
Honestly, I think Bradley Beal's probably just he didn't think the Wizards have a chance, and
he didn't want to risk injury. I'm guessing
because
I don't doubt that he actually has a shoulder injury, but the thing is, it's probably a very minor injury.
Yeah, and he just doesn't.
And he doesn't want to risk injuring it more to where he won't be able to play it all next season.
And I think the Wizards are the last place team in the East that got invited. So
yeah,
they're on the bubble
because it's like 13 teams from the West and not 9 or 10 from.
It's 9 or 10, yeah.
Okay.
And the Wizards were the one team that was out of the play, or one of the teams that were not in the playoffs currently.
Which I mean, there was only I think 5 to 10 teams that have clinched playoffs, but yeah. So looking at it on a deeper level, it's important to remember that each player that plays significant or even minor minutes on a team has a role when they're on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So Willie Cauley-Stein has a role for the Mavs. Okay, and now they're losing him. Courtney Lee doesn't play very much, but he has a role. You know what I'm saying?
He averaged 14 minutes this season.
Okay, so decent minutes, but the biggest thing for these teams now is being able to fill that hole that those players have left, especially for Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for Bradley Beal, which, like we said, the Wizards are now probably out of contention.
Unless John Wall magically heals his legs,
which he won't.
Turns into 2014 John Wall.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. But the Mavs still have Boban. They still have other centers that can play.
2 7-footers on their team that are very good rebounders.
Who's the other guy?
Porzingis?
No, who's the other guy? The center, the young guy.
Dwight Powell.
Or
Maxi Kleba.
Well, Dwight Powell is a very good player, for them at least. He plays very well in their system. He's been there for a while now, so I don't know. I think the more important thing is off court, which is other players are going to see these players sitting out, and that might push them to do the same.
I mean, we got a month-ish until season
20,
restarts,
24 days.
And I think they're just if you want to opt out, go ahead and opt out.
Because they obviously can't force them to play.
Yeah.
They can't force them to go to Orlando because I'm scared of getting sick is a very good excuse right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's look at it. So Wilson Chandler for the Nets, averaging he's averaging 5.9 points and 4.1 rebounds in 20 minutes, which I don't think that sounds like very efficient numbers to me. But That's just. And then you said Willie Cauley-Stein. Trevor Ariza is probably the biggest hit, I would think.
Besides Bradley Beal.
Well, Brad, yeah.
To an actual contending team to make the playoffs. Because Trevor Ariza is a guy that goes out there. He's very chippy.
Good defender.
Good defender, great shooter. Someone who's won a championship, who knows how to play in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Has played in the playoffs a good amount of his career. So, I don't know, man. Sorry. It's just interesting to me that these players are more and more players now, and with the amount of time that's left, more and more players are comfortable opting out.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, like Avery Bradley, very good for the Lakers, a good 3-and-D guard, which they signed J.R. Smith, but let's be real, he's probably not going to play that much.
Yeah, he's
in
probably
retrospect,
like 10 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes at most
that.
a game. So, but I mean, I don't know. Who else do they have? Troy Daniels? I don't know.
I think he's on the Nuggets.
Troy Daniels?
Mm-hmm.
Am I mixing him up with someone else?
I thought Troy Daniels. Maybe I'm mixing them up. I don't know. But they got the two best shooting guards in the league, in my opinion. The Lakers do. They got J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters. All right.
That's right. They have Dion Waiters now.
Keep shooting until you keep shooting.
I'd rather go. What do you say? I'd rather go
0 for 30 than 0 for 9 because that if you shoot 0 for 9, that means you lost confidence and stopped shooting.
That's a head-ass statement. No disrespect to him because, like, he is a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
When he was on the Heat, he was very good for them, everything like that. He's had his injuries and his, attitude problems with the team and everything like that where he's arguing.
Out on the plane for...
Yeah. But I like Dion Waiters as a player. And he has one of my favorite moments when him and Tim Hardaway Jr. just kind of went at each other in the Rising Stars game. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but they just went like toe for toe, shooting threes back and forth for like 5 straight minutes. But I even though they don't have Avery Bradley, which I know he's not a huge part of the team, I get that. But when you lose a guy, it's still a hit to your team.
You still lose a player, and then you're gonna have to get. Well, they got JR
because now JR has to learn the system.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because even though like many casual people who watch basketball, it very much seems like it's just go out there and pass the ball around until something's open. But every team has a system.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you lose a player and have to add someone else in to learn that system, I just feel like it can kind of mess up the team's mojo as a whole. Mm-hmm. So I think the Lakers are going to be fine, obviously, and I still have them for winning the championship. But it's just...
I don't think it's that big of an effect to the Lakers because they already have an amazing team. Avery Bradley was a part of that team, but, I mean, they filled that pretty easily. But with someone who is most known for dribbling out the clock.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. My biggest worry is that there's going to be just this movement of a bunch of players just opting out.
It could happen, but I don't know. Like Patrick Beverley said, he said LeBron's playing, so we play in.
Yeah, because like coming out of the East, let's say out of nowhere, Giannis opts out for some reason. And he probably won't. Most likely won't. And I'm not saying he will. But let's just say out of nowhere he just opts out. That's going to put a big effect on not just that team, but the entire East as general, because then they're no longer the team to beat. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
the Raptors become the team in the East, basically.
Or the Celtics. And that also leads into what else we want to talk about, which is there an asterisk next to this championship?
So before we get into that real quick, I forgot one player that got left off the list.
Okay.
Oladipo.
Oh, yeah.
Oladipo chose to sit out, but that's because...
he wants his quad to heal.
Yeah, he wants it. He just said he wasn't 100% yet, and the Pacers are a middle-pack team, or lower.
Which without Oladipo, that brings them down.
Yeah, so that's what we've always been.
Yeah. Rip Tate as a Pacers fan. He's got to deal with so much.
I do. It's a problem.
George Hill, man.
No.
George Hill for Kawhi Leonard.
Man, you see the Clippers right now? That could have been the Pacers.
That could have been the Pacers. That's true. But yeah, moving on. So in your opinion, Tate, do you think whoever, it doesn't matter who wins. Do you think there's an asterisk next to this championship?
I don't know, because it's not a lot of the superstars are sitting out, so I don't think there will be an asterisk, but only time will tell if more and more start opting out, because if more stuff keeps happening.
So let's say there's no one else who opts out.
No one else who opts out, then no. I don't think so. If 9 players chose to sit out, then I don't think it's that big a deal.
So I think there's like Shaq was kind of the big person who brought that up, was there's going to be an asterisk next to this championship. Mm-hmm. Just because there's an asterisk, in my opinion, that doesn't mean it doesn't count. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So let's say the Lakers win. LeBron wins what, his fourth?
Yep.
He's now 4-7 in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, no. Yeah, 4-7 in the finals. I believe there's an asterisk next to it. Let me say that, but not in the way that makes it not count as a championship.
It's just something.
It's just something that needs to be brought up when talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is going to be a pivotal point in the entirety of NBA history.
Yeah,
it is.
This is living through history right now.
We are. So it's important that we look at this and understand that, yes, it's going to count. And, yes, it'll go down like if this will be Anthony Davis's first championship if they win. This is going to be a lot of players on that team's first championship. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's still like, half a season. Well, more than that. We played a little over half a season.
And then rested for 4 months.
And then
we got like the full amount of time that players get off, depending on where you are.
Yeah. And
then you're going to come back and you're going to play in the playoffs.
Because don't get me wrong, they're all the players have been conditioning. Like you look at like Marc Gasol and Nikola Jokic. So, another big thing to talk about is the players who have already gotten it. Are they going to be allowed to play? Like Nikola Jokic tested positive for it. Mm-hmm. Is he going to be allowed to play?
I think he should be allowed to play, but I think they're giving him those ring things.
I think it's a wristband, right?
It's some kind of monitor or something that it basically just going to tell him. But honestly, I mean, if one of them gets it, I don't think it's going to affect them that much if they're in the bubble. But
yeah,
it's not going to be a big deal for them because, I mean, they're professional athletes. They're all super in shape. They all probably have nutritionists and certain stuff like that. So it's not going to affect them
that hard.
Like, it's not going to be like a tidal wave hitting the NBA if one person gets it or something.
Which, I mean, I can't remember who. So, like, the big names like Buddy Hield got it. Nikola Jokic got it. I think, like, the 76ers, their entire team got tested. None of them have it. Mm-hmm. So, and, like, we're to the point now where, like, the survival rate for it is, like, above 98%.
Yeah, it's 98 or something, and I don't think not a lot of people in their 30s have
yeah, and the average age of death, if you get it, is, like, high 60s.
Mm-hmm. Please don't take us wrong that we're like saying that this isn't like a problem or anything.
It's definitely a problem, and they need to take it seriously.
Yeah, take it seriously. But for these guys that are in their mid-30s, that are in
not even that, like a lot of dudes are in their
20s and 30s that are like prime
shape of their life. Yeah,
yeah,
it's just not like my biggest fear with this is one person who's there gets it and they shut the whole thing down.
It could happen like that, but
because I think they're playing on late August for the playoffs to start.
Yeah.
Or like mid to late August, which means like the finals won't happen until like
September, I think.
It's till like September. So that's
usually when the NBA season starts, or when preseason starts.
Yeah, because regular season starts in October. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I just and past this, like because this is obviously going to throw off the entire schedule of sports.
Yeah, since
as a whole,
everybody's trying to come back right now, and then they usually start in a couple months. So I don't know. It's going to be difficult. It's a problem. They're probably not going to be fans in the stands.
No,
at all.
Do you see what they were saying? And I don't know if this is true. They were saying that they were gonna have like 2K crowd noise in the background.
That was a while ago. I wouldn't doubt it. That might be.
That would be so lame, though.
I think as long as there's commentators, I'll be okay. I don't necessarily.
Oh, they'll definitely have commentators.
But I just don't. Yeah, like the scrimmages in 2K where there's nobody there and nothing's happening.
Yeah, no, honestly, it would be real entertaining to have the game noise and just hear the players, like, talking.
To mic them all up?
Not even mic them all up, because, like, with the cameras, you can... Mm-hmm. There's been times where you can, even through the crowd, you can hear players say something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with no crowd there, you're going to be able to hear them.
I'm sure they're probably telling them that, though. They'll be like, hey,
they don't
guys...
care.
They
you
might
think
care.
Patrick Beverley's going to control what he says because he knows a camera's on him?
They might
and there's
care
no
a little.
crowd?
I'm saying that the players might not care, but Adam Silver probably cares. So his TV deals don't get all messed up and stuff.
That's true.
Because he doesn't want players saying the F word on live TV. So
I know if I was an NBA player, I wouldn't care at all.
I might care a little bit if they started fining people.
Hey, man. To outwardly say F you to a ref for 15 grand when I'm making 20 mil, that's nothing.
Interaction between a player and a ref.
Dude, I want to hear it so bad. Because, like, I would love to be a referee in general, like for basketball, whether it's, just a little rec league or high school, whatever it is. But, like, we obviously respect that they have a lot to go through, and they're humans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, they're going to make mistakes on calls, and it's completely understanding how they react when they make one slip up with a call, and there's a 6'9", 250-pound man in their face, built of all muscle, saying, I'm going to beat the shit out of you to his face. Like, yeah, I would probably be like, I don't want you here anymore. Get out. You're kicked out. I would do the same thing. But I don't know. I wonder if they're going to make the refs wear masks.
I would assume so. I would assume everybody but the players.
But the players? Including, like, coaches and their staff and everything?
Maybe not the coaches. I think they're probably going to recommend that everybody wears them. I don't know if they'll make everybody wear them in the venue, though.
The commentators definitely will, if they have them. I don't even know.
They might just put.
I think they might have commentators off-site.
That would be weird, but
like they're watching on a monitor, basically. Which, I mean, there's sports where, like, the commentators aren't necessarily watching the game because they can't always see everything, and they have a little side monitor just so they can see better.
But what they did for I'm a big racing guy, I like IndyCar, but they had IndyCar commentators for a race, and they just had them there, but they just put them across the room from each other. So might have
that's going to be weird.
Might have the scores table, but might have Clark Kellogg on this
and
side
and Reggie Miller on the other side. I don't know. They're definitely the only thing that sucks is you're gonna have probably like 3 commentators for the entirety of this whole thing. Like they're probably not gonna fly in a bunch of different people.
Well, because if I saw what was correct, they're just basically gonna start games at like noon.
Have you seen the facility?
Where they're like putting the floors down and stuff.
The floors of the NBA teams.
Yeah, where they
it looks sick.
It does look.
I'll be honest. Like they got court and then a court and then like, I think it looks so cool, but. I don't know. I'm excited, obviously. I just want to watch basketball. I want to play basketball, mostly. But watching it is good enough, I guess.
Just need some kind of sports back. I know we got very niche sports that are coming back.
I mean, I was watching UFC a little bit whenever they had. But other than that, I'm just watching highlights, man. I'm playing 2K.
Find the clips or the videos on YouTube that are like, here's the best 100 plays of the decade to get you through this quarantine.
But I've already watched it like 3 times, so I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I just need sports back, man. I need something just to keep me going, honestly.
Just to keep you going?
Because, like...
Struggle busting over
I just get home and I don't know what to watch anymore. Because all this stuff I watch usually is like 5 minutes long, and then I'm over with it within an hour, watching everything. And usually I would be watching sports, so I don't know what to do. But no, I'm going to be glued to my TV whenever it comes back on. Because, I don't know, dude, I'm just so excited.
Basketball will be the first mainstream sport to come back. And then I think the NHL is
Didn't baseball say they were going to do preseason?
They're doing a 60-game season or something.
Yeah.
So, and then football is supposed to come back, and they're talking about having people at football games.
I saw a bunch of pictures. Basically, it was a bunch of colleges tweeted out, if you want this, and it was like a full stadium, then wear this, and it was a mask. So, I don't know. It just, we already talked about fans and not letting them in, but like, it's going to be weird whatever team wins the championship. Like, let's say it's Game 7.
They got confetti.
Clips. You got confetti, but no one's cheering except for like, for the people on the sideline. Just
you get the 2K sound effect.
Yeah.
Woo!
No,
It'd
but
be cool if they got actual game audio from like old broadcasts and stuff, just to have like a soundboard guy.
yeah.
So if something happened, he presses.
So
a
if there was
button.
a crazy dunk or
Yeah.
posterizer or something, because like literally when a big part that like you get those chills that go through your body whenever you see like a posterizer or an ankle breaker or something like that is hearing the crowd's reaction.
Yeah.
Like there's literally compilations you can look best crowd reactions at sports games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like just to hear, like all you're gonna hear when someone gets dunked on is "Hey!"
You ever done that in 2K where you turn the crowd volume off,
No,
turn the player chatter all the way up?
no. But yeah, like we said, we're both excited, obviously, but there's still that little bit of worry about how it's all gonna go. But
It's definitely unknown, but I think they're going to be smart about it, and
I would rather them take every precaution necessary to make sure it happens than rush it and it.
yeah, like
Ruins
like
it.
all right, we're playing tomorrow, and then
Yeah.
because I think they tested like 300 players or something, and 10 of them got it.
That's a very low percentage.
Um,
It's like, what's that, like 3%?
yeah, it was something like that.
So yeah, but anything else you'd like to add, Tate, to that?
No, but yeah, I think that's it from me.
All right. Well, we appreciate you listening. Once again, we do want to thank Smoky Mountain Axe House, located in Alcoa, Tennessee, in the Midland Plaza, again, for sponsoring this video. Again, if you need any extra information on what they're about, what you can do there, everything like that, you can visit smaxes.com. That's smaxes.com. They also have a Facebook page if you want to check that out. Go ahead and go over there, show them some love, like the page. They also have an Instagram as well. So we'll link all of that
In the description.
in the description on the YouTube. But if you're listening through Spotify or Apple or anything like that, you'll just have to check out the Smaxes website. And make sure you let them know that the FadeAway podcast sent you over. All right, guys. Thanks.
Have a good one.